Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today we are going to be making these beautiful pieces. It's a fairly simple project that I hope you guys enjoy creating with me. They are going to be a pair of earrings and a lovely pendant, and let's get started on them. We're going to be working on an Arrowhead pendant and earrings today. So the first thing you're going to do is get your black Primo clay, and you're going to roll it out to your middle setting. So it's about that thick. And I just, like I said, I just did on my pasta machine and I rolled it out to the middle. And I have my rod, which is threaded, so I can have marks on my clay. So the first thing you're going to do is just get your rod and roll it right over. We just want some nice lines on here. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want a nice little impression to show, so when we put our paint on, we will see these impressions. Okay. Now, carefully lift my clay up, and then I'm going to put my little stencil down, and then I'm just going to get my X-Acto knife out and just follow my stencil. Put that off to the side. And I'm just going to kind of fix the sides up here. Oops. So I can see that I did my stencil a little crooked, so I'm just going to kind of eye this up a bit. I cut that one a little too short, so I'm actually going to kind of, so I don't have to make a new one, just going to kind of bring that down. And I'm going to redo this. There, that's much better. Okay. All right. Once you're happy with the shape, then we can move on. I'm going to kind of bring that over a bit. Okay, I'm good with that. So I'm going to put this right on my tile. And I'm going to work right on my tile so I can bake it and not have to move it around multiple times. I'm going to just make sure it's exactly how I want it. Trying to make this a little bit longer and skinnier. And I'm happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to put my little earrings off to the side. I'm going to use this to do my noodles, just because it'll go much quicker. And I'm just going to thin this out a bit. Okay. I'm going to take one noodle here and I'm going to go right to the edge, and then I'm going to follow down, and I'm going to make a little turn. Get that on there. It's stuck on my finger. And pull that. There we go. The nice thing about these noodles is nothing has to be perfect. It's your design and you make it the way you want it. I'm going to come down one more. There we go, right at the edge. You want smaller piece. Okay, so I want to add a stone. And I have these little turquoise. So I want to make sure that I have for my earring and for my pendant, but I want to make sure that they're somewhat similar for the earrings. So these two I'm going to use for the earrings because those are similar. And then I'll use this one for the pendant. And I just want to kind of put that right in the middle. Okay. I'm going to kind of push that right up against . There we go. Okay. I'm very pleased with that. That's going to look really neat. Okay, so I'm going to put that off to the side. And then I am going to get my other tile. I'm going to get my other tile. And I'm going to put my two earrings on here. And I'm going to line them up right next to each other so I can make sure that these pieces are going to be as close as possible as like looking like each other. I want them to be very similar, so I'm going to put them right next to each other. And then I'm going to clean them up to the way that I want them, like I did the pendant. And I'm just making these long and skinnier like I did the pendant. I don't know. I just think they're going to look nicer that way, and that's why I'm doing it. When I did my stencil, I kind of just sketched it out real quick, but I didn't realize that I made it so wide, which looks nice. I just want mine a little bit skinnier, so I'm just going to clean them up to the way that I want them. Okay, I'm happy with that. So before I actually do the noodles, I'm going to put the stones on this time first. Just because these are smaller. So I want to make sure that I leave myself enough room for the noodle, or for the gemstones when I do the noodles. I think the first thing I'm going to do there we go. Get that over there. I want to make sure I'm putting these noodles close to that, so it has a little support. I mean, I am going to take these off and then I'm going to glue these gemstones on afterwards, but having that little support is going to help it. Because I kind of want to leave, normally I would wrap my noodle all the way around, but I want to kind of leave it where it looks like it's free. And this time I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to bring that out a little bit. And I kind of, my fingers are too big for this tiny one. Put this here. If you find that your noodles are not sticking, having a tool like this to kind of just press it down as you go really helps. Sometimes our fingers are just too big and it makes it a little bit harder. Okay. And I'm going to do one more right in the middle there. Get rid of that. There we go. All right, I'm real happy with that. Now the trick is to try to match that up the best that I can with the next one. This is the reason why I have them so close together, because it's much easier for your eyes to really look at all that detail when it's so close. And just remember, nothing will be 100% exact when you're doing this by hand. But if you could get it close, that's basically all you're shooting for, is something that's similar. So it definitely looks like it's the set. And that's pretty close, and they look similar, so I'm very pleased with that. So our next step is going to be to put our color on here. Okay, so I have my mica powder. I'm going to carefully put this on. I'm going to make sure, make sure we press these all down so our noodles do not move. Make sure everything's on there nice. How beautiful that gold looks. It almost reminds me like of Egyptian gold. I'm just making sure I'm getting all my surface here on the top. I'm not worried about the back and the sides too much because we will be adding a back onto this. What I love about these little arrowheads is it's just really a simple project. You don't need to do too much with these noodles to make your piece look so beautiful. I'm going to put this in the oven at 275 for a half hour. When it cools off, we'll come back and then we'll add the back to them, and we'll also add our clasp. All right, guys, so now my pieces are out of the oven. They're cooled off, and I'm very happy with the way that they look. I think they look absolutely beautiful. Here are the earrings. Just beautiful. Very pleased with these. So now what I did was I rolled out another Primo clay, same thickness, you know, half on my pasta machine. And then once again, I took my rod and I put my lines in. So now I'm going to flip it upside down because I want those lines on the back. And then I'm just going to trace this out, and I'm going to leave it a little bit bigger. I'm going to get my liquid glue. Oops. I'm going to put that on the back of my piece. Make sure I get all of it. My towel. Okay. And I'm just going to get my blade and carefully edge this off. See if I could clean it up better this way. And just making sure everything is lined up nicely. Let me put these off to the side for a moment. Okay, so now I'm going to do the bail. And to do that, I want to cut out a rectangle. And then I got one of these little kebab sticks, and I'm just going to cut that. Let me see. Let's see if one of these will work. Whew, that one flying. There we go. Okay. And I know I'm not going to need it that long, so let's cut some of that off right away. And I want to, I'm going to bake this right in the oven. It's, you know, just like this. So I want to make sure this is wrapped nicely. Just like that. And I don't need that much, so I'm actually going to take this, take off a little bit more. There we go. And then I will stick this on the back of here. And carefully put that on. And I just want to make sure it's centered nicely. And then I'm just going to put my little mark right there. All right, put that off to the side for a minute. And then we're going to do the earrings. Once I get it all pressed in, I could clean it up a little bit better. I'm going to let that glue sit there for a moment. I want to push these edges up onto my piece. All right, let that sit there. You know, a lot of these projects that I do are the first time that I'm making. Like these, I never made these before. I just had this little idea and I kind of decided that I was going to try it. And so if you see that my ideas sometimes are messy, that is why. I'm definitely not a professional by any means, but I do really enjoy doing art, and I enjoy, you know, creating along with you guys and learning all kinds of new little techniques. And you learn by trying things. And my goal is to have fun while I am practicing my pieces. And that came out really nice. Okay. You know what I like about, you know, that rod is I'm really playing with this, and all those indents and all that texture is still there, which is really nice because I wasn't sure if that was going to be the case. So I'm really happy with that. I just want to clean this up a little bit. Okay. All right, so now time to clean this guy up. Okay. All that glue is making the clay stick to my fingers here. Let me get my towel. Okay. So I like the way that everything is now blended nicely together. And I'm going to try to get all this glue clay off to the side. And now I want to, once again, put my gold on here. Do the front first. Now I want to make sure I'm getting like all my edges this time around. And the reason I was smoothing out is I'm not going to sand this down for the simple fact that I'm putting this gold powder on now, or this mica, yeah, the mica powder. So I'm not going to sand it down. I want to make sure my pieces are nice and smooth and kind of one piece right away. These look really nice, guys. I am really pleased with this. I do want to take a little bit of this glue here, and I'm going to get a toothpick here. And I want to add just a tiny bit right in here. Make sure that is sealed real nice so it doesn't come loose afterwards. Let me clean that up. Okay. So we'll leave that off to the side for now. And we will do our earrings. Oops. I just made a little mark on that. Get my, and we'll just fix that. There we go. Once again, like I said, just make sure your edges are nice and smooth if you're using the mica powder like me. So this way, you're not going to have to sand anything. I really do love this gold mica powder. It is absolutely gorgeous. It really reminds me of like Egyptian gold. Really nice. I think I might have to make something Egyptian wise just to use this mica powder. Okay, so one last thing I'm going to do before we put this back in the oven is I want to put on my earring pieces to hold the hooks into place. So I am going to cut this down because we will be super gluing these in afterwards. And I'm just going to stick this right in the middle. I just want to make sure it's in there good. Okay. You see I'm cutting them real short because after they're done in the oven, I will super glue them in. Sure that's the middle. All right, so now I'm going to stick this in the oven for another half hour, and when they are cooled off, we will complete this project. All right, guys, so my pieces are once again out of the oven, and I love how they look. They're beautiful. I have decided, I don't know why I have this thing that I like silver and gold together. So I'm actually going to paint all the little noodles silver. And then I'm going to put a silver wire around the very top. But first thing I want to do is pop these off. Let's see. Because I want to glue these into place. There, oops, there we go. But first I want to paint the noodles. And this way I know I won't get any paint on my stones. I just have a shine and silver. And I really like these paints because they dry super fast. I am definitely one that likes multicolor silver and gold and bronze and just multi-different color metal looks together. I just think that when you have two colors like this together, it really makes the piece pop. But if you like just gold or just silver, you could do that. Whenever you're making your pieces, always make them to what you desire because they're your pieces. If I'm ever watching like a tutorial, I always make the piece my own. So if I was watching this and I saw that they did just a gold, I would do this. And, you know, just basically make it something that I know I'm just going to fall in love with. I'm putting the silver on pretty thick, so this way I don't have to go over it too much. Okay, so I'll let that dry for a moment. Put those off to the side. And I am going to glue my piece on. So I just have super glue here. I'm just going to put a little dot. You don't need much. I'm just going to kind of spread it around a bit. Let me see if I can. There we go. Let that dry. Okay, let that completely dry. I'm going to take my stick out. Just turn it. There we go. My silver is dry. So now I just have my silver wire. And I am going to take this and I am going to carefully, let me do this a little bit different. Hold on. Okay. So I want to pull this tight. Just wrap this around very carefully. That is bent a little bit. Twist it. Let me see if I can flatten that out a bit. There we go. Okay, I'm going to cut that off. Make sure everything's nice and flat. And I want to take this oops, there we go. And I'm going to take this one and go up. And make sure that that's nice and flat so nothing is stabbing. Tuck that back under there. Let me see. Where's my... Just kind of tuck that under there. Oops. There we go. Let me just cut a little bit more of that off if I can grab it. There we go. Okay. That's not it. Here we go. These are my good ones. Okay. We could tuck that one in. There we go. There, that's beautiful. Real happy with that. I think the silver really kind of makes it pop. Now let's finish up the earrings. This one I'm going to do one more loop. Tuck that, push that underneath. And my next step is I want to super glue these in. So I want to make sure these do not fall out. Oops. I'm going to put a little bit more glue on that one. Okay. Then we're going to put our fish hooks in. So to do these, I am actually just going to open up. Let me get a different thing here. I'm going to open this little loop up. And then I'm just going to put it on. And then I will reclose that little loop. Make sure your hooks are facing backwards, so this way they sit on your ear properly. Okay, so now the last things you need to do is make sure your silver paint looks good. It doesn't need any touch-ups, which that looks perfect. That one's good. And that's good. So my last step is going to be, I'm going to put satin glaze on. And the reason I put the hooks on first is because I want to be able to hang my earrings to dry. So I'm just going to put my glaze on. I never worry about the wires. I just kind of go above and below. Oops. Oh, I just stuck that right in my paint. So let's get a different brush. Okay. Let that dry before I do the back. Now this, I could do the back and the front right away because, I'll just wipe the wire that I got. I'm able to hang it up. So this way I don't have to wait for the front to dry to do the back. And I do put my glaze on thick. I don't know why, because I don't think it's necessary, but I always do. And then I could actually hang my piece up using this. Oops, I got a little wood on that. Okay, we'll let those dry. Okay guys, so here are our pieces. They are complete. And I think they just came out adorable. I'm really happy with them. You can see how the silver really kind of pops out with the gold. I just ended up putting a black chain on here, nothing, you know, special. I am really happy with these. I love the backs. I love the front. I like having the gemstone where it's not completely encased with the noodle around it. And I think the wire around the top kind of gives it a little special look too. And it was a pretty simple project, so I hope you guys really enjoyed creating this piece with me, or these pieces with me. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to keep the videos coming your way, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.